We are at Lester Buildings and north of town of Charleston in Illinois, and today is Monday, the 7th of April in 2014. So, and this class is Blueprint Reading and Architecture Drafting. So, welcome to Lester Buildings. I say welcome because Lester has been a friend to our program for many years, and Ted, and ask him to introduce himself to you in a minute, has been very supportive of our program. Every semester I call him, it's his time to come, it's your time to come for us, and never he said no. So without much ado, please, here's Ted Helmick.
Welcome. I'm Ted Helmick. I'm a professional engineer with Lester Buildings. I've been with the company about, I think, close to 8 years now. And basically what I do here is building design, review plans, provide stamps and seal drawings, and then also work on some building quotes and that sort of thing. What we're going to go through the tour today, we should be able to see the saws in operation, and also the truss table, making truss assemblies, and then also making columns, and some of the trims and roll forming steel. We'll be able to see all facets of building a post frame building. Some of you might be familiar with post frame from agriculture or garage buildings, but we also use those similar buildings in schools, churches, a lot of fire stations now, and some light commercial applications also.
So we'll be able to see things from start to finish almost until it is on the truck.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Yep, everything from the foundation all the way up to the exterior sheeting.
Can we take a minute to introduce ourselves? So we start from Rashad. Tell your name for
Rashad.
Rashad. Young.
Kenneth. Eric. Dylan.
Allison.
Cole. Andy. Richie.
Very good. Now this is not Cole County, but it is. Very good. So we'll start from start.
Okay, everybody's ready to go. Basically, there's not much to see here in the office. Office atmosphere. Right now we have myself and another engineer on staff. We have a one quote technician here, and then we also have I think there's 7 ESTs, engineering service technicians, be the drafting people, and what they do is they not only draw the buildings and make the plans, but they also make sure all the bill of materials are correct, so that all the parts arrive on the job site, and then they also take dealer calls about the building after it's being constructed if there's any questions. So,
Did you hire any of our graduates or our students before?
Yes, we currently have Joe Eckhart.
Okay.
You had him in any of your classes or not?
I had him yet.
And then we used to have Ryan Huppendick.
Okay.
But he moved on, he took a job closer to Jacksonville, where he was from. And then we also, I don't know if we've hired, including the other 2, we got 2 new hires starting in April next week, I think, and they were from Lakeland, I believe.
I received a letter or announcement from Lester a couple of weeks ago or something.
Yeah, we were looking for not only full-time ESTs, but also the COP team or summer workers.
So, very good.
Okay, well, we'll go through the plant, and if you get any questions at any time, feel free to ask. Safety glasses out of
Safety first, huh?
I need my safety bra.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing fine.
Let me shake hands with you.
Good to see you.
Always.
Okay. One of the nice aspects about our operation here is we have manufacturing in the same office as engineering and drafting. So if there's any questions whatsoever about what materials are being sent to the job site, we can go right from one to the other and have good communication skills that way.
Now, since this class is for blueprint reading and preparation, is there anything here that we can have any experience with? You use what software you use? Or,
Right now, we're using AutoCAD 2010 software for all of our drafting, but our pricing software is sophisticated enough to actually engineer the buildings and do the preliminary drawings and provide a preliminary bill of materials for that.
so that's your Lester.
That's Lester, yes, that's our Lester pricing software.
Now, if our students have more hands-on on chief architect, for example, what are the chances to catch up with?
Chief architect is something our dealers use a lot if they're wanting to draw a building up to figure out if we can price it and if we can, how we can fit our building into what their customers' dream building would be.
But I mean, the students would have trouble jumping from this to that, or?
No, I don't think so. Both chief architect and, well, the pricing software that we use, it's not a drawing software. It creates the drawings. So whatever you design, whatever inputs you put into it, it draws that building.
I see.
So it's not anything that you can modify. But the chief architect, that and AutoCAD are somewhat intuitive as far as working together. They correlate pretty well together.
Okay. You're going to introduce somebody here for us?
Yeah, this was Daryl Sowers. He head of manufacturing, shipping, pretty much everything. Any questions whatsoever, he's got the answer. So.
How long have you been here?
38 years.
38 years?
I think so.
So you started at 6.
Yeah.
Very good.
What's your step? This here is our hardware area. Right over here we've got some door and window storage, and then all over throughout this area is our hardware nails, bolts, screws, hangers, all kinds of things that will go along with the building. Even a pallet there, even the foundation pad to go underneath the columns. Like I said earlier, you see production from the foundation all the way up to the finished part of the building, so that would be the foundation pad that we would send out to buildings. And there, right now, we're just gearing up for a big push on the season. Things are just starting to pick up in sales and everything right now. So we're a little bit low on hardware, but when we get into full swing, all these shelves will be filled completely with screws and bolts and nails and that sort of thing.
When you say low, it means do you go by just-in-time thing? When you need something, you order it? Or?
Right. We do. Well, we actually do both. Just-in-time is what we use when prices are fluctuating a lot and on the rise. But then in the fall of the year, if we see prices going down and we think they're going to bottom out, we'll try to buy a large quantity and keep inventory.
Stock it.
When we get a good buy on things.
Okay. Now, when you hear, by the way, you can use some of my questions in your 2 questions, but you can come up with yours. When you hear the word foundation, usually you think of big chunks of concrete, big cubes, big, and when you look here to these cylinders, they're kind of thin. How would you account for this? Is it enough for carrying a column?
Certain size buildings, larger buildings would use a larger foundation pad. We also augment those with bag mix concrete at the base, or we do porta footings also. So each column is engineered individually, and its foundation is also engineered individually.
And this typically would carry 1-story building, 2-story?
Yes. That one, like up to a 60-foot wide building on an agricultural setup, and probably a 42 to 48-foot wide building on a
If you have the soil clayey or silty, you want to replace it with sandy or gravel thing with a pad under it.
What you want to do is they'll dig the foundation or dig the hole for the column, and then they'll make sure that they tamp the bottom of the hole sound. And generally on a commercial building, we're looking at like 3,000 pounds per square foot soil is a general foundation that we see. And then on the agricultural structure, we'll push that up a little bit just because of a lower risk factor with an agricultural building. You're storing farm equipment, animals, that sort of thing, not nothing human occupancy. Parts for our sliding doors. Just a nice storage rack so we can keep everything on the floor and keep it visible. You'll notice that you've got inventory tags on the sides of the racks. Those are magnetic tags. That way allows us to be able to move them if we change what's stored on that rack. But it also lets you guys know when they walk up to the rack what's on that rack and if that's the right part that they need.
Morning.
Hi there. Quantities of boards up to like 20 to 30 boards at the max. It's a hand run operation, so we try not to use it for large quantity runs. But it's nice to have this set up so that they can do stuff very quickly without a whole lot of setup time. Saw blade being tilted, I think up to like a 50-degree angle, so that it can cut different pitches on boards to go to the truss table. Now, when I design a truss, my truss design software feeds that computer program out here. When I do a design and I upload it to go to production, it sends a printout on his screen of what it should be cut. Okay, you're going to start it up. Looks like they don't have a huge run right now set up, but all of our truss components are cut off this saw. He just indexed what the next board to be, so the next step is
You are doing better in this one building here, one warehouse, instead of having the different ones.
Right, exactly. Yeah, previously we were across the street operating out of 7 different buildings. Now everything is in this building and in a separate building where we do another cutting operation. Now that we have everything here, we're not running all over the whole yard, trying to figure out where the lumber's at, and running different operations in different buildings. This is just basic lumber storage here. You see there again on the racks, it shows them exactly what lumber is in what location, the length, and the part number. So read the part number. We need this board, so many lengths, so many pieces. Keep all of our lumber inside, especially at this point in time. It stays clean, it doesn't mold, and it doesn't warp and split due to weather. Right now, going into spring, with the fluctuation in the humidity, and fluctuation in the temperature every day, it promotes a large growth of mold right away.
What do you do when it's molded? If you have some molded wood, you throw it away or you clean it?
We can clean it. We've done that before. We can...
with water, soap and water?
There's a mold inhibitor and a cleaner that we use. And then we also can use it for like carpenter stakes, something that they just use for staking material, packaging material, something that gets thrown away. Something that will not go into a building, so that we don't have a bad or moldy or a unsightly piece of lumber going into a building. Most of the time it just gets cleaned and sent again, and once it's clean, or if they get it inside in a dry condition, then it's okay. Forming area. This is the steel material that we typically use on our buildings. The profile 12-inch on center ribs. This one is actually screwed down to this shear, that way they can slide pieces across it to go on the offline shear. This is used for cutting steel that comes back from a job site that has either been damaged or was wrong color or something like that, and we want to cut it down to different lengths, or any other offline cutting that we would do. Everything else gets ran through the roll former and gets cut. Running right now, but this is a roll forming operation. We take coil stock of steel and run it through a series of rollers. You want to look up here, you see where it starts out with the small rollers and the progressive die that actually puts out the finished product that we saw over there on the table. Takes that piece of steel, bends it, forms it, and then puts out the unirib profile. This machine right here, we run up to a 36-foot long piece of steel, runs it out, cuts it and holds it on fingers, and then releases it onto the table, and then they'll run so many sheets out to make a package, whatever is going to be shipped to that customer. They'll run those packages out, pull it off, wrap it up in the bundle, and then it's printed out with the color in the sheet length on it. So the builder can look at the bundle package and know exactly what's in the bundle without having to open it and tear everything apart. And behind there is all of our coil storage. And you see on the turnstile, they got 3 different colors on there, and then one arm would be open so that they can run the coil off of here back and forth. What they do here is they'll set up for however many color changes they're going to be doing that particular day, up to 4. Anything more than that, then they'll have to egg shape. And then when they come in to turn them on the side, then we use what we call a rougher over there. Put the pallet on there, and it actually flips the fold over, and then they can take that pallet off the bottom. And then we store them flat they've got a cardboard core inside of them. We can store them flat here for a small amount of time, but if they come back on the truck, it's all bouncing on the road. We would try to store them flat, then they would exit. Ridge cap. There's two different profiles. One's ridge cap with no hem, one's ridge cap with a hem. The hem just means that it's got a folded over so it don't have a sharp edge on the outside. We use roll formers here. You can run a consistent and do a large run. Ridge cap, heat trim, and then trim. Something that's got a large amount of bends. That takes a long time to run, and one that we use a large quantity. That's what we look at when we want to see if we need to roll form them or not. And they do a time study on the folder, and based on what the roll forming tooling is going to cost, then they look at what the time study on the bender, and then see what the return on that investment would be to determine if we need to put in a roll former. Trim operation here. You can see they got the similar They use exactly the same coils. That way we get a complete color match. But what they do is they'll put a coil on there and run it into the decoiler here. And this is a splitting machine. And what that does is allows you to cut, I think it's up to 6 different pieces out of that coil at one time. It's a series of knives that are running through there, and that cuts out the blank strip of the steel. This is a plastic packaging. Actually folds that crease on the end so you can get a nice smooth edge. Makes for a nice clean looking piece, aesthetically pleasing and also friendly to the customer or to the animals that are inside. We use this hemming operation here. We can also put a hem on the folder, but it takes a smaller amount of time and you can run it through a lot quicker having a free hem that goes through the machine. Folder. You can see there's little fingers in the back. Push it in there. Machine grabs the piece of frame. Index on how far to bend it. Pull it in and out. And then once we got to the degree, this particular machine can bend up and down. Double the tool. Profiles are all in the machine. Figure out what number he wants to run, what number, specific trim number he wants to run, and quantity, and put that in there, and then the machine will operate that. We can also manually override it. Say if it says 15 degrees, get it 15 degrees, bump it a little bit. all kind of there you can really see the running on the roll former. This is that fascia stiffener. This is the eave trim. You see you get a lot of, you got the hem, 3 different bends. It's not a complicated piece to run on here, but eave trim you get on every building that goes out. It's a large quantity of pieces, so that's why they put in the roll former for that. Here's another piece here. This is the ridge cap. You see how many bends are in that piece. That's why that piece comes off the roll former. Right here is the trim storage area. You got the number on the racks of what the part number is, but it also has the color. When you get in here, the lighting is pretty good in here in comparison to where some of the other buildings we've been in. But you offer a red white, bright white. If the guy isn't paying attention, you get those confused in the packaging area, and once you get them out on the job site, then it's too late. We also have the color list here with each individual number for the color. So you don't have to know dark blue, light blue, you just have to know it's 115. Or the whites, 112 is bright white, 100 is bone white. You go by numbers rather than colors too. This area is where they package up the trim boxes and get those ready for the job site. They have the packaging material all set up here. They'll roll the cart out in this area, package it up, and then send it off to be loaded on the truck. This is same print that I generate out of the office. This is the printout of what they see on the saw for the cut. It's got the lengths and the angles and everything. So that's what he sees at the saw. And then this is what they use up here at the assembly area. Gives them the heel heights, the overall length, the peak height, and then also gives you the rise height here. And then it shows you where to lay out all the individual components.
So you create your truss flat. You create your truss flat.
And we also mark on these trusses where the purlins and the bottom plate braces are located. That way they can put the hangers on the ground and not have to mess with it after the truss is set up in here. What they do here is they pre-press on one side, they get the nail plate nailed on, that way they, when they get ready to run production, they put the plate on the underneath side with the member, and they get ready to go, and then have those set up and ready to run. They'll lay it out with different jigs and cams, and actually have to somewhat compress the members together to get everything to fit up tight. And then after they'll run this machine down, press each individual plate, and then the rollers will pop up out of the bottom of the table and roll it, and then it runs through the finish roller so that you get a finished product. This particular table can run up to a 92-foot wide truss, 13 foot 8 inches tall. It's capped at 13 foot 8. That's what you can get down the road legally, at least through Illinois. And the table over there is a similar setup, but it can only run up to like a 60-foot truss.
Do you expect to have something done today?
Yeah. they're going to be running them. I think that they're doing the initial setup right now. You can see the top port over there is marked. It's got the job number, it's got the dealer, and then it's got the T2 marking on it. That means it's T2. It's this member right here. And it also has the black marks on it. That's where the green marks are for the building. Bottom port being on. We'll take this material over here. We'll set it on the stackers here so that they're ready to run. This particular truss, they're running 17 2-plies, so they run out 34 trusses. We'll run them out individually and then nail them together to make a 2-ply truss. Figure out where the weights are. This is where they store the quantity plates. The lower quantity plates we put up. The finger joining operation's got a little bit of glue on there that is visible. But we put the treated lumber at the bottom where we go into the ground, and then so this column is embedded up to 5 or 6 feet. Your embedment line would be here. So from here on up, if the column is inside the building, it doesn't need to be treated. So we can use a non-treated piece of lumber. This keeps the treatment out away from human contact, and it also provides a straighter board, a more consistent board, and then also provides a lower cost alternative than having a full-length treated board.
Do you alternate this or what?
Yes, the joints are typically staggered about 2 feet in the column. So this would be an outside ply. This might be a center ply, and then there'd be another ply. This one here most likely would go on there so that you get a stagger in all your joints. And that's the pocket that the truss is put in. we make a certain order on columns that go in the ground. If they're not cut to a specific length, they'll put a block in there to set your truss height in the field. That way, in case they drill a hole a little bit deep or the ground is uneven, they can adjust the length of the
Say why do you put this
anchor block.
Yes.
Yes. Also have smaller nails if you would 2-5 or 4-5 pounds they can have on both sides. Go ahead. Product here. Completely pressed in there. This is one of the ones that would run off of the smaller table. You usually use the larger table for the larger assemblies. The smaller ones they can run with 1 or 2 guys over here and do setups on that. What this comes out of the finish roller onto this rolling system here, and it's got arms on it that actually take the truss that's flat, stand it up, and hold it up. That way they can pull it off with a forklift and handle it that way. Try to handle a truss flat, like the trusses they're running over there. Anything over 24 foot long, it just droops over once a flex, and you'll end up cracking it or stressing the plates.
These are your own tracking system. You have all
Yes.
these.
We actually do the deliveries of the buildings with these trucks. What they do when they deliver a building, they'll actually dolly the trailer down, and then the trucks here, they have a forklift system on the truck itself. So then they'll back out away from the trailer, actually unload the truck, unload the trailer with the truck itself. So you don't need another forklift to tag along in the trailer. Allows you to pull a larger load and unload on the site, and then the dealer doesn't have to handle unloading the material.
These trusses in there are kind of longer than usual.
Those are probably 60 footers, I would guess. So that's pretty typical of what we run.
And you put them on one of the trailers. They are longer than the trailer, right?
Yes, they will hang off the trailer a little bit. If they hang off more than 10 feet, then they have to be escorted.
I see.
then also on the width, if they're over, I think it's over 9 foot tall, or the width, then they'll have to be escorted also.
You put them flat on the.
They'll go flat on the trailer, yes.
Horizontal members in this truss are just for the transportation or part of the structural?
That truss with the horizontal and vertical members only, those are the two gable ends of the building. So you'd have your wall metal coming all the way up, and that's what those nailers are already in.
So they will stay?
They will stay on there.
Kind of.
The trusses that go throughout the remainder of the building are the ones directly behind it.
Well, we will not have these.
Right.
So this kind of bracing system?
Well, it's...
Type of bracing?
Yes, somewhat of a bracing system, and then it also provides the nailers. Because typically, your building's generally 8 foot and larger in height, ceiling heights. So, okay, if you're 8 foot, then those nailers are up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's already on the truss, so you don't have to nail them on in the field.
So it's kind of like a fair system to have body to nail to.
Right.
But I can see also some structural value on this. I mean, kind of.
Yes, the vertical members provide the structural support, and the horizontals are just the nailers on the material.
Okay.
But the horizontals do brace the verticals to keep them from bending in and out of plane.
Structural integrity. Sure. Okay.
This building here, there's a Holtec machine in there, and also just basic lumber storage. It's an unheated structure right now, so there's very minimal manufacturing goes on in there. Until the spring, everything is wrapped, at least here. Due to the weather conditions, it may sit on a job site for several months before it gets used. So this protects the lumber while it's out on the job site.
Good morning.
Shipping out of here also. Typically what gets shipped out of here is either trans or hardware parts, so it makes sense to have it right here through these doors so that they can go ahead and ship stuff out UPS or FedEx.
Lister prides itself in safety. How are you doing with safety?
Very good. We're actually going to have a luncheon in a couple weeks, I think. We made it, I'm trying to think, it's almost 3 years without an accident.
3 years. Very good. OSHA is happy.
As happy as they get.
They really come unannounced visits.
We have had them come through, yes.
Very good. Any other questions?
I was wondering, how far does your shipping reach?
We ship out of this office all the way out to Colorado, and then all the way east as far as the middle of Ohio. We have a plant here in Charleston. Our main corporate office is up, not this winter per se, because it was cold and snowy throughout the whole U.S., but like last winter, if it's dry in Ohio, they can keep building all year in Ohio. We can ship buildings out there. If it's dry, Kansas, different areas start sooner in the year. You can work with different areas at different times of the year.